Australia reaffirms our view that the HRC brings disproportionate scrutiny to Israel. We do not support the proposition that Israel is the only country that is a permanent item at the HRC, which is why Australia does not and will not engage in item 7 of the Council's debate, and why we retain our fundamental concerns about the nature of the COI. We agree that settlements remain an obstacle to peace and contribute to the impasse we now see. But the report does little to assuage our fundamental concerns about the COI's mandate. Its broad and one-sided recommendations are further evidence of the mandate's excessive and one-sided scope. We will support initiatives which bring us closer to a negotiated solution. Australia remains deeply concerned about the ongoing conflict and the lack of progress towards a just and enduring two-state solution. Sadly, the current report does little to advance the cause of peace.
The UK regrets the establishment of a further Commission of Inquiry in May 2021 with an overly expansive mandate, and cannot support an investigation that furthered the Council's disproportionate focus on Israel by failing to include a time limit in that mandate. The UK remains committed to improving the human rights situation, and we support justified and proportionate scrutiny of the situation in Israel and the OPTs at the HRC. We're also a firm supporter of the HRC and believe strongly in its mandate. However, this Commission of Inquiry does not further these goals.
The UN Human Rights Council can play a critical role in protecting human rights and promoting accountability. However, the nature of this Commission of Inquiry is proof of the long-standing disproportionate attention given to Israel in the Council. Regrettably, the Commission's latest report serves as another demonstration of a wholly unbalanced and unfair singling out of Israel in multilateral settings. Such disproportionate scrutiny applied to Israel alone contributes to a polarization of positions and moves us further away from a negotiated two-state solution. We further reiterate our stated concerns about the Commission of Inquiry's scope as well as its ongoing nature and budget, as others have noted. Our question for the Commissioner is how will the Commission ensure that in the future a more balanced portrayal of the responsibilities and obligations of all parties to the conflict are taken into account when drafting its reports? Thank you.
We would like to reiterate our criticism of the open-ended nature of this Commission, which led Germany to vote against the establishment of this mandate last year. Germany also stands firmly against any form of anti-Semitism and therefore clearly denounced statements by Mr. Milun Kotari, member of this Commission. While we respect the independence of UN bodies and investigative mechanisms, we remain concerned about the disproportionate attention given to Israel in UN fora. This latest report raises important questions, but falls short of taking security concerns of Israel into account. Israel has a right to defend itself against armed attacks and hold perpetrators accountable. In doing so, it must respect the principles of international law and international humanitarian law.
We would like to express our concerns regarding this particular COI for the following reasons. First, the COI guidance and practice publication explicitly states that members should, in all cases, have a proven record of independence and impartiality. Palau questions that the 3 COI members were able to lead the investigation in such manner, given the numerous outright anti-Israel public statements made by the members, both before and during their tenure. The report states Israel's unwillingness to participate. However, how should one support an investigation where members have already shown their bias against them very publicly? Second, as other states have said before me, the mandate of the COI is unprecedented in scope and it lacks any clear limitations. Finally, it's our view that this mandate reflects the consistent and disproportionate attention given to Israel in the Human Rights Council. Given that this has failed over many decades, perhaps it's time to try other approaches that are not so anti-Israel. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to express our serious concerns regarding the establishment and the work of the COI. We continue to believe that the long-standing disproportionate scrutiny to Israel should end, and the Human Rights Council and other relevant UN human rights bodies and mechanisms should address all human rights concerns, regardless of country, in an even-handed manner. In this context, we believe that the nature of the COI established last May is further demonstration of the long-standing disproportionate attention given to Israel in the UN system. We believe that the impartiality of a UN investigative mechanism should be a cornerstone of the UN human rights system. We are also outraged by the recent anti-Semitic, anti-Israel comments made by a member of the COI. These unacceptable remarks sadly only deepen our concerns about the open-ended nature and overly broad scope of the Commission. We are convinced that such blatantly biased anti-Semitic comments are completely unworthy of the UN and the UN human rights bodies.
Czechia voted against the establishment of the Commission of Inquiry. We did so due to our serious concern about the broad and open-ended mandate and permanent nature of the Commission, and those concerns remain valid. Moreover, we were shocked by a recent interview in which one of the members of the Commission used terms such as Jewish lobby and questions Israeli UN membership. We strongly reject any form of anti-Semitism. Such comments contribute to polarization of the situation and threaten to undermine the impartiality of the UN human rights mechanism.
Thank you, Chairman. Guatemala takes note of the statement on the reports this morning and rejects any anti-Semitic statement or any prejudice against the people of Israel. We call for decorum, respect, and to avoid accusations against the State of Israel. My delegation reiterates that the independent Commission of Inquiry should be objective and impartial. We regret the anti-Semitic parts of this report. The mandate of the Commission must have an unprecedented scope. It does not have a limitation. Guatemala recognizes the Human Rights Council and its resolutions, but considers that several of the statements against Israel are out of context against a democratic state which guarantees and respects the human rights of its inhabitants. Thank you.
Liberia surely believe that the nature of the COI is a further demonstration of the long-standing disproportionate attention given to Israel in the Human Rights Council and joint calls to put an end to search. We fully support the Human Rights Council's responsibility to promote and protect human rights around the world, but believe that the work to counter impunity and promote accountability should be based on consistent and universally applied standards, including the fundamental principles of non-selectivity, impartiality, and objectivity. That's why we are concerned not just about the open-ended mandate of the Commission, but also its composition. Just recently, an appointed commissioner of the COI made disparaging and anti-Semitic comments and questioned Israel's right to be a member of the United Nations. This is unacceptable and do not adhere to the principles of neutrality.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be making this intervention on behalf of the Federated States of Micronesia, the Republic of Nauru, the Republic of Palau, and the Republic of the Marshall Islands. We wish to call attention to concerns raised in the earlier HRC cross-regional group statement of the 22 countries in which our nation participated regarding the open-ended Commission of Inquiry. We again affirm that no one is above scrutiny, and it is the Council's responsibility to protect human rights the world over. We believe the nature of COI is further demonstration of long-standing, disproportionate attention given to Israel in the Council, and this must stop. We continue to believe that the Council should address all human rights concerns, regardless of country, in an even-handed manner. Regrettably, we are concerned that the COI will further contribute to the polarization of a situation about which so many of us are concerned.